Hello everyone. Today we are going to start current electricity. So the word current. So we'll start with this word current. What is current? In Unit 1 we have seen different properties of the charges when they were at rest, and now we'll discuss when the current will start moving, when the charges they will start moving. We know that in conductors or metals there are large number of free electrons. So when they will start moving in a particular direction after applying some potential difference across the metal or conductor, then those moving electrons or moving charges, that is called current. How we can define current? Current can be defined as, symbol for the current is I. This is charge flowing per unit time in a conductor when we have applied some potential difference. Or we can write units. Units are coulomb per second, and SI units are ampere. Now, general discussion about current. Let us consider we are having one conductor. Now there are large number of free electrons inside this conductor. So if you are going to draw here, these are the free electrons, and these electrons, if we have not applied any potential difference, even then these electrons they will keep moving here and there, means they have the random motion. But when you will touch this conductor, you will not feel any current, because if you will take the average of all these motions, then average velocity of an electron would be 0, because these electrons they are moving randomly in all the directions. They are colliding with one another, they are colliding with the ions present in the conductor. So average velocity of the electron would be 0, means average motion of the electron would be 0 when we have not applied any potential difference. Now if I apply some potential difference, suppose I have connected this conductor with the battery having potential V, then what would happen? This end of the conductor will become positive and this end of the conductor would become negative. And still the electrons they may be moving randomly in all the directions, but you see this positive is going to attract the electrons towards itself. They may be randomly moving here and there, but there is a little drift towards the positive side. So whatever the motion they are going, their direction they are going. For example, if initially in the absence of the electron was going in this direction, but now because of this positive it will be directed towards the positive of the battery. So this net velocity which the electrons they have acquired towards the positive of the battery, when we have applied potential difference across this conductor, is called drift velocity of the electron. So drift velocity is basically the velocity which is responsible for the current. So how we can define drift velocity? So this is the velocity acquired by electron in the presence of electric field or electric potential. So this velocity is basically responsible for the motion of, or for the flow of the current through a conductor. Obviously free electrons must be there. If the electrons are not free in any material, electrons they won't be able to move, they are not able to leave their atoms, and the current in that conductor would be 0 even if we have applied the potential. So this condition must be there, electrons should be there, and if they are moving with the drift velocity which is acquired by the electrons in the presence of the electric potential or field, that is a drift velocity. And when the electron they have started drifting, then the current will start flowing in the circuit. And current always, as electrons, they will move from negative to positive of the battery, and conventional current, that we know that flows from positive to negative of the battery. So this is the direction of the flow of the current. So in this direction the conventional current would be flowing. So conventional current is generally taken the flow of the positive charge, and we know that if the electrons are moving positive charges, they are assumed to be moving in the opposite direction. So let us define ampere now. How we can define 1 ampere? As we know that current is charge per unit time. You see, if charge is 1 coulomb, time is for 1 second, and I would be 1 ampere. So how we can define 1 ampere then? So this is the value of the current in a conductor when 1 coulomb of the charge is flowing for 1 second in the conductor. So 1 ampere is the amount of current through a conductor when 1 coulomb of charge flows through a conductor for 1 second. So 1 coulomb of charge would be carried by a large number of electrons, that we already know. Using principle of quantization of charge, we can find out how many electrons are required if you want to flow 1 coulomb of the charge. So 1 ampere is that amount of current which is produced when 1 coulomb of the charge is flowing through a conductor for 1 second. Okay. Now let us discuss Ohm's law. What is Ohm's law? Now we have discussed the current will be flowing through this conductor only when the potential is applied, potential difference is applied. Now if you will apply, you see electrons are getting drifted towards the positive of the battery. Now if you apply more potential, more drift of the electrons would be there, so more charge would be flowing through the conductor. So we can say that more is the potential difference applied, more would be the current through the conductor. So we can say that the current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference, or you see when the electrons are moving, then potential difference is also created across the conductor. So we can write the potential across the conductor is directly proportional to the current flowing through the conductor. So Ohm's law, how we can define potential difference across a conductor is directly proportional to the current flowing through it when general conditions like temperature should remain constant, pressure should remain constant, only then this law is valid. When temperature and pressure are constant. So if the temperature is increased, number of collisions of electrons would be more and the motion would be more, and obviously current would be less. So proportionality of the current on voltage would be ceased in this case if temperature and pressure they are not going to be constant. In that case, these will also contribute their portion. So we need to keep temperature, pressure and other conditions of the conductor constant. Only then we can say that the potential difference across the conductor is directly proportional to the current flowing through the conductor. So mathematically how we can write? V is directly proportional to current flowing through the conductor, or V is equal to I into R. What R is here? This is the constant of proportionality. Constant of proportionality, and it is called resistance of the conductor. So this resistance is what? This is the hindrance in the flow of the current. So R is resistance. So this is what? This is the constant of the material. So if I say that a particular material or particular wire is having some resistance, it is just the constant of proportionality there. So it is basically the ratio of the potential difference across the conductor and current flowing through the conductor. This is a ratio of the two, and it would remain constant whether you are changing the battery or the current is going to be changed in the conductor. This is constant for a particular piece of material. This is the constant of proportionality. So resistance is what? This is the ratio of the potential difference and current flowing through the conductor. What are the units of resistance? Units are ohm, and symbol for ohm is this. So this is the unit of the resistance, symbol is ohm. And some more things about resistance. Reciprocal resistance is what? This is the hindrance in the flow of the current. And reciprocal of resistance would be the ease with which the current is flowing, and that is called conductance of a conductor. So conductance is what? Conductance is reciprocal of the resistance. So this is again the constant for a particular material, which will tell you how easily the current can flow through a conductor. So conductance is reciprocal of the resistance, and unit for conductance are, it is mho or ohm inverse. So these are the units for the conductance. Resistance is what? This is the hindrance. Means this is the obstacles or hindrance to the flow of the current. That is the ease with which the current is flowing through the conductor. So these are the concepts of resistance and conductance. So you see, when we have discussed this thing, if you will draw a graph between V and I, that is a VI graph for a conductor. Let us discuss. When one of the variable is directly proportional to the other variable, what type of graph we would get? So let us consider VI graph. This is current, this is potential. What type of VI graph we will get? You see, V is directly proportional to I. If you will increase in Y, then this is directly proportional to Y. So this would increase with the direct proportion. So you will get a straight line if you are getting this graph. So you are going to get a straight line. And if you are getting a graph like this, it means that this is a material which is obeying Ohm's law. And the materials which obey Ohm's law, they are called ohmic materials. Ohmic materials. So those materials which obey Ohm's law. So if you are going to get a straight line like this, linearity is there in VI graph, then the material is ohmic material. And from the graph, how we can find out the resistance? Suppose you are taking 2 points A and B. Let us draw perpendicular from these 2 points on each other. Let this point C we are getting. So perpendicular over base. Basically I want to find out resistance, that is a ratio of V and I. So if you are taking a graph, you can take the ratio of change in potential and change in current for a particular 2 points. So how we can write slope of the graph? Let us see what the slope of the graph is. Slope of the graph is what? This is the change along vertical direction divided by change along horizontal direction. So change along vertical direction is BC, change along horizontal direction AC. So BC is what? That is the change in the potential, and AC is what? That is a change in the current. So this is what? This is V over I. So slope of this VI graph is what? That is resistance. So resistance, how we can find out from the graph? Means we have to simply find out the slope of the graph. Slope of graph, that is also tangent theta, that we know that. Tan theta is the slope of the graph. So you have to simply find out the slope of the graph, that will give you resistance of the material. As this is a VI graph, we can have the IV graph also, means the V may be along X direction, I may be along Y direction. So that is the IV graph, that can also be considered. You may be given any of the graph. You may be given IV graph. So I may be along this direction, V may be along this direction. So if you are changing the potential from the battery, current is accordingly changing. So then also you are going to get a straight line. So this is again there is no problem in this graph also. You may get this. And now if you are having the slope of this graph, let us consider this point is A, this point is B. Let us try to find out the slope of the graph. This point is C. Slope of this graph means tan theta. Let us find out. Tan theta, that is slope of the graph, that would be change along Y axis BC, change along X axis, that is AC. So what is BC here? That is delta I over delta V. So what is this delta I over delta V? Resistance is now delta I over delta V, that was V over I. Resistance is V over I. So what is that? This is a reciprocal of the resistance, that is conductance. So slope of VI graph will give you resistance, slope of IV graph will give you conductance. So we can write here slope of VI graph is resistance, slope of IV graph is conductance. So this has to be very much clear whether you have VI graph or IV graph. You may get a question, you may be given, suppose you are given two graphs, VI or IV, and the question is asked which material is having higher conductance or higher resistance. Let us consider one example. For example, you may be given this question. Suppose this is VI graph and you may be given this is a graph for material A and this is a graph for material B. Now it is very much clear from this